Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. So as you can see, I'm back in the States. So excited to be back home and to tell you all about my experiences. As you can see, I have some of the things that I bought from the Jubilee behind me. I'm going to have so much to tell you about my experiences, my thoughts. I had a chance to stay with Lady C for 2 days. So much to talk about there. I am so grateful for the hospitality and warmth that I received when I went to the UK. It was great. But on the other hand, we know we had a little run-in with a lady who was very much pro Meghan. And there's nothing wrong with being pro Meghan. I mean, I think she's someone who's trying to do what she's trying to do, but her false narrative has been able to carry over to some people, and they believe her false narrative. And that is no different from this lady that I am confronted by on the train. Now, I do want to say this, I am in a foreign country. I didn't go American Revolution 2.0 on this lady because I didn't feel it was my place to do that. I kind of let Ben do that for me. But I was really upset with the way this lady came into our conversation and started voicing her opinion and saying all these things that I know, in my own opinion, not to be true. So we have this confrontation on the train, and this lady, I believe, is really trying to continue carry Meghan's narrative. And this is the part that I really don't feel that is right. And this is why I feel so passionate about it, is because when it talks about race, and as an American Black woman, I think I can speak on both sides of this. But what Meghan has done, being a woman who has some color, who looks white but has black, she's black enough to claim racism, but she's not black enough to have experienced racism. There's a difference, and I believe Meghan has completely used her ability to claim racism, and she capitalized on that, and she's trying to make it something that she's experienced. And that is where I draw the line, because she doesn't know what the experiences are like walking in America anywhere with skin color that is dark. She comes off as a white woman. She wants to be a white woman from the things that we've seen, but she can't walk in those experiences. So she used what she could by claiming racism, and I think it's appalling what she has done. Now, at the same time, we Americans that are Black, we have been afforded so many opportunities. We can't continue to go around claiming racism. At some point, we have to say, look, the world has become better, and we need to go out and get what is ours to achieve, and to stop piggybacking off of the racism claim. And this is where I think we are in our new America right now. There are always going to be racist people, but I believe there are more people who are not racist today than ever before. And so this is where our narrative, I believe, needs to be. We're not victims. We can go out and achieve and do anything we want to do. And we can overstep and sidestep the minority of races out there. And so for people to claim, like this lady on this train, that Meghan has had opposition, that she has had to deal with an archaic like behavior or traditions, this is something that Meghan walked into. She chose to do it. And this woman is trying to make that, in my opinion, to be race. And I'll mention this later in the video. And so as you watch this video, please understand that I'm trying not to go too full throttle on this lady and allowing Ben to carry this battle, because I'm walking the walk that I tell Meghan. You put yourself in a position, in a situation, you have to know how to carry yourself in that position and understand that you have to put up sometimes with things that you don't want to have to put up with when you put yourself in that position. I put myself on this train in this foreign country, and I did not want to come across as too belligerent, too ghetto-like, if I might say that word, okay? So here's the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I think there's a lot to be learned and to see and experience when you hear someone who is countering the narrative that Ben and I are speaking about. Here's the video. Okay, hi everyone. So I'm here on the train. I just left Lady C's and heading back to the airport now. And we ran into the producer of the Dan Wootoon Show, and he's going to answer some of my questions about some of the things that I'm sure you guys all want to know about. And his name is Ben. Say hi to Ben, everyone. And then you can clip that on your holding.
Hi everyone, how you doing?
So tell us about your show with Dan and all of the things that he talks about, like his thoughts and everything about Meghan and some of the things she's done with her dad, because we know he was supposed to be here.
Yeah, so just last week at the Jubilee, Thomas Markle was meant to come over to see us. We're really looking forward to seeing him on Dan's show. We were going to take him around Windsor Castle, show him the sights of London, because of course it would have been the first time he'd been over here since Meghan met Harry in 2016, 17. Unfortunately, he obviously fell ill and couldn't come, but yeah, Dan's had a quite an involvement in the Royals since his days at the Sun newspaper. He was the executive editor there, he was the showbiz editor, and he is of course the man who broke the story of Megxit, the revelations that Meghan was leaving the royal family and doing a runner to California and taking Harry with him, of course.
Right.
So we were looking forward to having Thomas over, but unfortunately he fell ill, and I've been on Dan's show for about 12 weeks now, so I'm quite a newbie.
Oh, okay. So what do you do?
So I'm a producer, so in the day, so I'm heading to work now. In the day we sort of get the show ready for that evening, we find guests, we write scripts for Dan, we find video clips and edit them according to whatever the news agenda is, and between 9 and 11 each night, Monday to Thursday, we try and deliver a hard-hitting, funny, entertaining and informative debate and analysis of all the news. And of course in the last couple of weeks a lot of that has been the royals.
And how is it about people that have conflict about the royals and don't want the royals? Like there's this lady, I forget her name, a black lady, she has dreads and she does not like that is always giving controversy or opposition to Meghan. Like she is definitely pro Meghan.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about? I think
not specifically, but I mean,
a few of them.
I mean, there's a few Sussux Squad, so-called Sussux Squad members in England. I think generally most people aren't a fan of Meghan in this country. She's gonna have some supporters, but I think the way people, Brits especially, judge people by their actions and not necessarily by their words and all the hot air that comes out of their mouth. So we're quite good in England at seeing through people, especially when we think there's not a lot of authenticity with them. And I think with Meghan, people saw that from the off, and that's why she's, to put it bluntly, not that popular. But there are supporters, and not everyone's going to have the same opinion. But I think for Brits, we kind of feel like, as I was saying to you off camera a bit earlier, that Harry used to be literally the favourite royal in this country. He was against the grain, he was happy-go-lucky, he'd served in the armed forces, he'd done a lot of other great stuff for charity. He had a few scandals as well, which at the time, there was a bit of uproar about, but looking back in hindsight, that's what his charm was, and that's why people liked him. But since he's met Meghan, he's definitely kind of lost that spark, and I don't know him personally, so I can't comment intimately, but it seems like he's very unhappy with what's going on in his current situation, and I think a lot of people blame Meghan for that.
Yeah, because it's only since he's met Meghan that he's really changed. He's gotten rid of a lot of his friends.
Yeah,
I believe, right?
Yeah, I've spoken when I was at the Sun newspaper. I've done quite a lot of stories based on speaking to his old friends from the army and from military school as well. And I think he's still got a few key friends that he does communicate with. But
he's allowed to communicate with.
Yeah, that he's allowed to. I mean, like I said, I don't know the intimate details of their relationship, but you can only judge a situation based on what you see and how people behave, and what Brits see at least is that the old Harry's gone and we've got a miserable replacement who seems to endlessly lash out at not just the country and the place he grew up, but also his family, and you know, in a subtle way, his grandmother as well, and definitely his father. And yeah, Brits generally don't like that kind of behaviour. Family means a lot to a lot of people here, and to publicly air your dirty laundry in public, like for example he did on the Oprah interview.
Right.
Yeah, it's not cool.
It's not cool.
No. So
what do you think about the microphone that they said that
under the collar?
Do you think she had a microphone?
Look, it wouldn't. All I've seen is that like brief video clip of her adjusting her collar a couple of times, and also there was some sort of device in another picture I saw sticking out. It could have been anything, but look, these guys are on a commercial mission now to make as much money as they can. That's plain to see. You've got Netflix deals, you've got the Spotify deal, which they're kind of yet to deliver, but that's in the pipeline. That's worth £18 million. So they're commercially minded. They're not getting funded by Prince Charles anymore or the royals, and they need to make their own money. So, and also there has been a lot of reports and palace insiders making their feelings known that conversations now between Harry, William, Prince Charles and whoever else may be in the room, they just can't have intimate conversations anymore because all the details seem to get leaked to US chat show hosts. Good example was when the Invictus Games were taking place in Holland, and Harry had a sit-down interview with Gayle King. Was it Gayle King?
Yes, it was Gayle King. Yeah. With CBS.
That's right, and he'd only just pretty much come off the plane fresh from meeting his grandmother, the Queen, at Windsor, and he's then sitting down for a sort of tell-all chat with American news networks, telling them about his private conversation with his grandmother, which, you know, I can't ever imagine she'd appreciate.
Right.
So there's that, from what I understand, there's a kind of feeling now that if Harry does ever come into contact again in a face-to-face situation with his father or William or whoever else, that conversations of, you know, an intimate nature just won't happen. It's all very, you know, very formal and...
Right. As a matter of fact, I believe William purposely did not see Harry face to face. Like, they went out of their way not to have to speak to him.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised after what's happened. Right, but yeah, there was reports after I think it was the St Paul's Cathedral service that they were sat on opposite sides of the cathedral, and yeah, I mean the pictures didn't look too frosty. We definitely didn't see them together. There weren't any pictures of them, you know, saying hello or embracing like you'd expect brothers to do. But look at the history. William, you know, I've been told from people close to William and also Charles that, to quote, they're both still spitting feathers about Harry's behaviour. So
is that a British thing, spitting feathers?
Spitting feathers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're just angry, you're just fuming.
Okay. Yeah. Well, did you see the articles that came out about Harry and William are meeting every week, that they're definitely talking and getting along? That was run heavily in the papers. Did you see
really? No, I didn't see that.
That's what we saw.
In the UK papers?
I believe, yes. It was one of the online articles. Harry and Meghan's PR firm put out those false stories. This was before the Jubilee.
Yeah.
So that people could see that they do have a relationship.
Oh, was it like a Sunshine Sacks jobby, was it?
Yes.
Dishing out all the... Yes. Yeah, I didn't see those. I mean, as I keep saying, like, all this is really just commentary on what we can see in public, but...
Yeah.
And what people who are close to people like William are telling us, but they could be meeting every week and talking every week. Who knows, really? But
so you think that could be possibly true?
I don't think it's true, but I'm just saying 100% no one knows. Like no one can sit here and definitely say William hates Harry. Like no one knows, no one's in William's mind. But from what I've been told, and a lot of more people who are involved in royal reporting and whatever else, I don't think there's much of a relationship there. And you can't, as I said, blame him really or his father.
No.
There's been a great degree of betrayal there.
Are there any insiders that you have inside the royal family that...
I've never really been like a dedicated royal reporter. I did do a lot of royal reporting my last couple of years at The Sun, but I wasn't the royal correspondent. Someone else did that. But Dan, obviously, he's been the driving force behind a lot of the royal exclusives in this country for the past, like 5, 6, 7 years. He was, like I said, he was the man who broke Megxit. A lot of other great stories as well, not just related to Harry and Meghan, but to do with the Queen and the palace. So Dan knows a lot. Yeah, and the consensus is that Harry and Meghan aren't too popular.
They're not too popular.
No, to say the least.
And what about the accusations about the Brits being racist? What did you think about Meghan making that accusation?
That's not absolute nonsense. We've been dealing, journalists especially. I mean, it's quite offensive for journalists to hear that, because when Meghan came onto the scene in, I can't remember the year, was it 2016? Yeah. When I was at The Sun, I've even got, let me show you the front page of The Sun at the time, and I was at the royal wedding in 2018 when they married. I was actually stayed in, by chance, a lodge. Harry was staying in a very posh sort of hotel estate in Berkshire near Windsor Castle, and I happened to be staying a couple of lodges up when I was sent to report on the wedding. Okay. And all like Meghan's famous friends were there. Yeah. Jessica Mulroney was in the hotel, so we're all mixing around with them and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the coverage from the newspapers at the time, and I speak for The Sun at the time because I was there working for them and reporting on the wedding, it was so welcoming. Yes. We described her and the marriage as magical, described her as beautiful. We celebrated the diversity of her introduction to the royal family. Let me just show you, I did tweet about this some years ago.
And it's appalling that she would make up those lies, because she had an agenda. She wanted people to go against the monarchy, to go against the British people, because she needed to leave. She wanted to leave, so she made up this lie, essentially.
Yeah, I think that probably came a bit later on, because she probably had grand visions of, I don't think she really understood the spirit and the nature of the royal family, and she probably had grand visions of coming over from America with her California attitude and wanting to overhaul and, in her own way, modernise the royal family.
Modernise it.
Yeah, and that didn't go down well with a lot of people inside the family, and I think she was trying to stamp her authority and upset a lot of people. And as far as the British public were concerned as well, we saw through that fakeness, and combined with the fact that she wasn't winning the public over, there were stories coming out about the way she was treating staff and her aides, and having rows with, for example, Kate Middleton. Right. All this culminated in a massive storm where she probably felt like, right, I need to get out of here. I haven't done what I wanted to do. People don't like me. I need to get out. Yeah.
I think she wanted to leave from the very beginning. I think she never intended to stay.
Well, if you look at her history of sort of social climbing and whatever else, it would make sense to me. And she gave that interview to Tom Bradbury from ITV.
From when they went to Africa.
That's right. And she was saying, he said, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "No, I'm not okay. I didn't know what the tabloids were like in this country. I was naive to the media." Yeah. Well, that was a lie, because before she even met Harry, she was meeting with showbiz journalists from the Daily Mail, begging them to put column inches in the showbiz spread that she was linked to famous footballers over here, and she was linked to this guy, just to kind of get a bit of PR coverage. So she,
that's a blatant lie.
She knew. I mean, that's just one of many lies. She knew how to work the media and how it worked. So I'm just trying to find this the Sun front page from the time, because I did tweet about it, because I'd love to show you on camera. One sec.
You should really think about some of the language that you're using. Social climbing.
Sorry, I'm just doing into. Here we go.
I know, and you're African American. Yeah. I'm really finding some
this was
that you're using.
This was the Sun. This was the Sun spread at the time.
To listen to.
Well, you can go to another train,
man.
You
can maybe go to.
No, you're the one coming to us.
I know.
So I would recommend you go to another train.
What's wrong with saying social climbing? What's your problem with that?
She's a successful African American.
She's very successful.
Woman. Yeah. Why do you call that social climbing? That's really
because it's our opinion.
I just explained explain one example of when she met Daily Mail showbiz journalist.
She's using the structures that are there to try and better herself. I just think some of the language that you've used throughout
Trying to better herself.
What other language?
Listen back to some of the questions that you have here. I think the British media is really quite biased. I don't particularly like the newspaper that you used to work for.
That's fine.
It's just your language. I'm not saying that.
Can you give another example of the language I've used that's upset you?
Well, you're talking about her being manipulative, that she wanted to leave from the beginning, that she never wanted it to work.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I said
She said that.
Yeah.
But
You're not listening very attentively.
I've listened.
You haven't because
I've listened extremely attentively. I think you have an agenda, and I think the British press
can I
an agenda.
can I
don't have agendas. Would you
She
agree
has
with
an
that?
agenda to
Do you
use
think
the
you're
royal
agenda
family.
free? Do you think you're agenda free?
I'm agenda free in terms of what I'm reporting and what I'm saying.
just letting you know.
Can I?
I found your language.
Well, then you can leave, lady.
Can I?
I'm not leaving.
Can I?
I'm not leaving. I'm just letting you know.
Don't come over here telling me what I need to do because you're offended.
I'm not telling you what you need to do.
Yes, you just told me what I need to do.
I'm sitting here.
I need to watch my language, is what you said.
I'm trying to do my work.
Okay, well then you can move.
No, I'm not going to move.
Can I show you the Sun front page from the day when Meghan got married? Magnificent,
Yes,
magnificent.
sure.
Another one.
I'm sure.
History, celebrating the diversity.
There were no issues around
She
her
should have
race.
put up with it. She's a guest in
race.
your country. She should have put up with it.
No one.
As an American, you do not come over here behaving like that.
No.
I don't disagree.
I'm talking on my channel.
We're having an interview
What are you like just
about the royal family.
Talking about the royal family.
Talking about Meghan Markle.
About Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and their attitude and how they behave.
Okay, what would you say?
She's dealing with centuries
Look, man, we're
of arcane.
Well, she should have never married into the family.
Why can't she?
She should have never married into the family.
Why can't she expect the institution to be modern?
Because you know why?
Why can't she
Because
demand
she
it
can't
in
change
2022?
hundreds of years of tradition.
Why can't she?
can't.
Because she's a woman?
No, it's not because she's a woman.
Why
That's
can't she then?
ridiculous.
Why
It's
can't she?
ridiculous.
Why can't
not. It's only people like you that see skin color and talk about race and blame things on race. No one cares about skin color. As I was saying at the start of this interview, if you were listening, people are judged by their actions and their behaviour. No one looks at skin color.
You're saying that nobody.
You saying the rules are racist doesn't make it true either. So there we go. You did. You just.
I said the tradition.
You said the way she was treated is as a result of archaic years of racism in this country or some nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
And this is the point where you really have to listen to this woman's words. When she implies archaic-like behavior, without saying the word racist, she can imply it by calling it archaic-like behavior.
Look at this Sun front page from the day she was married. History. Harry and Meg's historic change for monarchy. Get that on camera.
And then the
But no. The press were racist from the start, right?
They cannot do anything.
Look at this spread from her wedding day. Magnificent. That's a Sun spread.
It's one front cover. It doesn't
to be
prove
fair,
it.
But you're
Tabloid, exactly. You're just
whether it's a tabloid or a broadsheet, you're saying from the start Meghan was treated with dismay and racism. I've just proved it's nonsense.
You've literally put words in my mouth. You've literally put words in
Right, okay. Well, should we try and continue?
Yes. Basically, my opinion is, and this
She is a social climber.
I don't think that's so pejorative.
She says she doesn't know about how the media work, yet she meets with the Daily Mail showbiz editor.
Successful woman.
Nothing to do with her being African.
Of any colour. Any woman.
What's me calling her a social climber got her to do with her race?
Pejorative. It's a really nasty.
What are you
phrase.
talking about?
It's a nasty phrase.
She's nasty.
A nasty
She's
phrase.
the one who's nasty, and I can speak as a
Maybe.
black American.
I think the British
that her
press can be pretty
attitude and the way she behaves.
all of your arguments just are instantly null and void and not worth listening to when you say silly things like it's racist to call someone a social climber. It means you've just said it. It's on camera.
Go and look at
You've just said using the term social climber is to do with her African roots. Am I making that up?
She said it. She said that.
You've literally just said it on
I
camera.
didn't say it was racist to call her a social climber.
You just said that on camera.
The word.
Am I going mad?
The word.
I said it's wrong to belittle an African American or any woman.
What's her African American race got to do with it?
Because people like her have had to work really fucking hard.
Oh, believe me, she has not, because she looks white. People that look like me work hard and have racism.
I'm not
People that look like me are the ones that go through racism. For Meghan to say she has experienced racism is a lie.
I understand what you're saying.
So let's
and I
not
think
say
some
that.
of the claims she's made about racism.
I can tell you, my black skin has gotten me in many places, not many places
I
that I
find some
wanted
of
to
her
go.
racism comments
never had
difficult
an
to stomach
issue.
as well.
Are you?
To call her a social
Can I say something? You are racist for thinking all black people are somehow oppressed and victims of society. You are the racist here. You are the racist.
You're a classic tabloid journalist.
What, you think all black people are oppressed and under the foot of the white man?
In my mouth.
Wait, are you saying that she's being
putting words
racist?
in
You're
my
saying
mouth.
that black people have been repressed?
And you're putting motives into her life.
No, she's put motives into her marrying into the royal family.
What her motive.
Oh, I certainly most do. She's an actor. I'm an actor. I know the lifestyle that she's lived.
Clever you.
I know a lot about
Probably one of the more.
more than you may know. This is a woman who has definitely tried to make her way into the royal family to do exactly what she's doing now. She's a social climber, period. And guess what? It's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I know exactly. Everyone's entitled. So for you to even come over here to even voice, okay, whatever. Don't come over here.
You are talking in a really public space and saying things that I find quite difficult.
Why don't you move away then? Why are you being such a victim? If you don't like the
You move away.
because we're sat here. If you don't like the conversation, move away. Why be a victim?
You move away.
Why come over here and start screaming nonsense and
Am I
saying
coming across as a victim?
yes? Your whole attitude. You see people as victims. You're a victim of our language. You're getting offended for people having a conversation.
You're a victim of tabloid language. I think people are a victim. You're right there.
You would say that because you're a victim in chief.
No,
You think
I wouldn't say that
black
because
people
I'm
are
being
oppressed.
disrespectful.
You think our language offends you. If you don't like it, just get up and walk away.
You're suggesting that black people aren't oppressed.
Are black people oppressed?
Are you suggesting they're not?
I wouldn't. No, I don't think black people are oppressed.
Okay.
No.
There we go.
We have all the ability to do the things that we want to do. We have to work hard.
The moment you give your power away and you start saying I'm oppressed, this group is oppressed, this group's oppressed, you forego and forgive every single piece of power you have to better yourself in this world and to triumph and to achieve things.
5 minutes ago she was social climbing.
She's a social climber. She says, can I tell you something? Can I tell you, let me get your thoughts on this. Meghan, in an interview to ITV, said she didn't know how the media worked in this country. She was naive to the tabloids and it was a big shock to her. In 2016, before she met Harry, she arranged a meeting in a rooftop bar in Kensington with the showbiz editor of the Daily Mail, begging her to put some column inches in, and the inches were published. I can show you the page, saying that she was linked with, falsely, Ashley Cole, the Chelsea footballer at the time. Is that not a clear case of her lying and being a social climber and manipulating the media for her own gain? Yes or no?
Trying to use the media. I think her trying to use the media intelligently and not quite understanding how media backlash might work.
So you wouldn't describe that as social climbing?
At the same time.
That's not social climbing,
I
no?
think it's
Trying to elevate her profile.
I don't think it's social climbing.
Right. Okay. I mean, it is the epitome of social climbing. I don't know what else to say.
Trying to intelligently use the media. I don't see it as social climbing.
Intelligently. Okay. So, I don't know what to say. It's just nonsensical.
Anyway, so we the majority of Brits, I believe, and Americans believe
Don't speak for
what we're speaking about. You're not the majority. You're the minority. And so, so I guess it's all starting with my asking the question about race.
Yeah. Sorry. What was the question? This is one of the more lively commutes of her.
Do you believe that her accusations about the Brits being racist is...
I don't. I just showed you the front pages of the camera of the Sun at the time. We called her magnificent. Look at this front page. Sun on Sunday. History. Harry and Meg makes historic change for the monarchy. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle kissed tenderly yesterday after a modern fairy tale wedding that changed the royal family forever. Billions worldwide watched the TV, were treated to a groundbreaking ceremony that was a far cry from the stuffy protocol of past,
And I think she could have come into the royal family and made a lot of good thing.
And sorry to interrupt. Greatest royal wedding ever. 41 pages of coverage. People that say that there was hostility from the start and there was some racist agenda behind it, they're talking absolute nonsense and they're trying to change history. But look, we've got the receipts. So
right, we've got the receipts. So we know that they're living in California now. So what do you foresee as the future of their union, their relationship now that they're in America?
I don't know. Look, I wish them well. As I keep saying, no one knows the intimate lives of these people, of William, Harry, Meghan, Kate, whoever else. Who knows what goes on behind closed doors. But I think the general consensus is, and what I've been told, is that Harry is quite unhappy, and you can kind of understand that with everything that's happened with his childhood and whatever else. But yeah, good luck to them. But I think one thing that does upset a lot of Brits is the hypocrisy.
Okay, so we just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you so much, Ben, for speaking with me.
That's all right.
There's more to come, always, as ever. Bye.
Okay, you guys, so you had a chance to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's one of those things that you're going to find people who are the minority that are going to have these views, and they can have them. But I think it really strengthens and it really gives me more cause to continue to speak about the things that I speak about, because that cannot become the majority, this woman's narrative, the things that she is saying. Meghan Markle is not a victim. She has chose to marry into an institution that she, in my opinion, is taking complete advantage of. The royal family made a mistake by allowing her to marry into this institution way too soon. She should have had to have waited at least several years before marrying Harry, but I think she may have said that she was pregnant and that they needed to get married. That's just a theory that I have. I don't know, but she has found herself in a very unique position. Like I said, she's black enough to claim racism, but she's not black enough to have experienced racism, and she took advantage of that situation, and this is how she is trying to overtake the narrative around racism and trying to elevate her career and brand off of the backs of the royal family that have done everything, in my opinion, to not have another Princess Diana situation on their hands. And they wanted to be more accommodating, more accepting of not just a woman of color, an American woman, a divorced woman, so many different things. And this is how we know that Meghan is walking in this negative publicity to gain a higher profile. British monarchy, in my opinion, have done everything to help make this institution work for someone like Meghan. I despise people who try to take up for her that she's the victim, because you have to look at how the monarchy has changed to know that it has become better for people who are like Meghan. Let's hope that maybe one day there will be a woman who actually has had black experiences, not just can claim them, but actually has had black American or divorced experiences that can maybe one day marry into the royal monarchy. That would be a sight to see, wouldn't it? But the black woman that we have now with Meghan, she's not the one. She's not the right black woman. Let's just say that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone who have subscribed to my channel. So much more to come. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.